Welcome back to Streamfest Day 3. We are at Day 3. We've made it. It's been a good time. We're at Blue Robotics. We're live still from our headquarters in Torrance, California. Once again, I'm Jess Eason.
And I am Tyler Buckingham.
And I'm Tony White.
And we are absolutely stoked to be with you for the final day of Streamfest. We have had 2 days already that have been packed full of amazing streams from around the world, covering everything from education all the way to deep ocean exploration. We've seen jellyfish, we've seen shipwrecks, we've been in freshwater, we've been in saltwater, and I'm ready for one more day. And we've got it. We've got a great final day prepared for you today. And Jess, what are you excited for?
I'm excited because we took a little field trip yesterday.
We did.
Took a little field trip over to Compton, and I'm excited to show you guys how that went. A lot of student engagement. We'll get to see a little close-up of our Blue ROV, and yeah, that'll be a little treat. I'm also excited for more photogrammetry today. I also love the critters, guys. There's so many critters.
There have been some great critters.
That's always my favorite.
I'm always interested. The water buffalo on day 1, ladies and gentlemen. Go check that one out. It is worth it for the water buffalo.
What about you, Tony?
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited to answer some questions today too. Hopefully we'll get some more as the day goes on. And
yes, so we do have some questions. Thank you guys so much for asking them. Keep it coming. Ask them right there in the chat for our YouTube channel. So we have one about computer specs. You know, as a scientist, sometimes we hear about a lot of cool tools, but we're like, I don't know what to do with that. We just know that we have to process the data. So what kind of computer do you need? Is it like software dependent? Can you just have any computer? What would you do to use one of our Blue ROVs or BlueBoats?
yeah, for driving the vehicle, anything medium to high end from the past decade is going to be more than enough. For processing data, that's typically enough too, but if you're going to do something more advanced like photogrammetry, you typically want to look for your software vendors' recommended specs. For instance, with Agisoft Metashape, the more RAM typically the better, the more CPU cores the better. But yeah.
And that makes sense. You know, if you're doing a lot of video processing, probably going to need some more video processing horsepower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We also had another question yesterday in the chat from Igor. I think this was directed at deep water exploration. He was wondering, for a multi-camera approach, can you put the cameras a farther distance apart? You definitely can. The farther the two cameras are apart, the better you can gauge the distance of an object that's farther away. But because the cameras are farther apart, if the object's closer, you won't see it in both cameras, so you won't be able to tell its depth from the camera. He also asked, can a cable of 50 meters be connected to the system for a video stream? So those cameras are USB cameras, which talk with that particular protocol. So to go over a long cable of 50 meters, you're going to need a small single board computer like a Raspberry Pi or the NVIDIA Jetson to convert that signal into TCP/IP and send it down over the Ethernet connection.
This is like Marine Technology 101, ladies and gentlemen. How to send signals over long distances on a cable that is a big part of the challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice.
Awesome. That was great. Once again, ask questions. And once again, we're so grateful to have Deep Water Exploration in the studio with us all this week. Thank you guys so much for co-producing this with us. We'll have more to say with them later, but there they are. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's kick this thing off. I'm super excited to talk to our first guest, Stephen Huber, Valley Christian School. Let's go into the blue. And welcome, Stephen. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. It's so nice to see you. I know you do work with Mbari down with the Monterey Bay, but I'm really excited to see what you got for us today. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Very cool, and I love your backdrop. You look like you just finished working on an ROV back there.
Yeah, but we could talk about that, but that's a mini ROV that we created in the house. It's about 30% reduction of size of the Blue ROV, but we created all that from scratch in-house, and all the electronics, all the housings, and we actually made 10 of them and had students driving around the swimming pool simultaneously.
Wow.
So that's part of our ocean discovery program that we can talk about.
Very
Love
cool.
it. Well, let's get to the stream. See what you have for us. Ooh, starting off good.
All right, Stephen, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we have a partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, and we've deployed our own custom platform at the bottom of the Monterey Bay at about 900 meters deep, and it's connected to MBARI's cabled observatory called Mars. And basically that's like an underwater power strip with data connected by a 32-mile-long cable back to their office in Moss Landing. And so it provides power and data. And MBARI basically takes our equipment, carries it down to the bottom using their very large ROV, and plugs us in. And then we have unfettered access to it 24/7. And we've set this system up with a BlueROV2 heavy that's been heavily modified, obviously, to be able to withstand the pressure. And we can teleoperate that from anywhere in the world. And we have students from pretty much every continent have driven this or flown this ROV, and including lots of places in Asia, Australia, Europe. I actually was in the Italian Dolomites on vacation with a Starlink connection, flying the ROV one time.
That's awesome.
Truly incredible.
But yeah, the first video you actually showed was actually our first deployment in the early days, and that was several years ago now. But the current iteration of the platform has actually been down there. The current ROV has been down there. Actually, as of 2 days ago, it's been down there 1 year and 6 months continuously.
Wow.
And operating just fine. It's quite a testament to the quality of Blue Robotics components. That in fact, many of those components, including the thrusters, and the enclosures, have been down there much longer than that, as far as being submerged. So I think the enclosures are actually original to that original deployment, and that was so they've been down there, probably over 3.5 years combined total time.
Yeah, I think I recall seeing on our Blue Robotics forums posts about this over the years, both for the first deployment and the subsequent deployments. So exciting to have a resident ROV. It's such a great way to reach out to kids around the world and give them that experience.
Well, yeah, and it's just so alien down there. I mean, what sort of stuff do you see?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the draws, right? I mean, I often tell students, like, this might be the closest you ever get to like exploring another planet. I mean, this, and it's probably more exciting. Quite honestly, there's obviously a lot more life. So, but we've seen so many different things, including we saw about one time like a 6-foot-long shark.
Wow.
We've seen octopus, flapjack octopus. Right there, that camera view, you're looking at a bone tree. So we put down a bunch of different cow femur bones and see what kind of animals we see come and eat from it. We see lots of these.
Look at these friends.
Hake fish. Yeah. In fact, the bigger fish there. When we get the ROV back, when we have to bring it up, occasionally something breaks or the maintenance or whatnot, they the lenses of the lumen lights are always like super scratched up because those fish try to eat it.
That's awesome. So I know when we talked last time, you mentioned all the cool things you're doing with the students in particular. So when you're working with students, it sounds like you're working with different groups of students. Can you talk a little bit more about that and what you're doing with marine robotics?
Yeah. So I mean, we, as a result of this, and actually as a result of our initial involvement in the ocean, which was through the Ocean Discovery X Prize, which our student team actually won a $800,000 bonus prize, NOAA bonus prize, as part of that competition. That really launched our ocean program. And so from that, we've we've since started a mate team, and they've been competing at mate for several years. We have this ocean discovery program, which the current iteration of it, I would say, is really more of a demonstration and like a student activity platform. But one thing we're looking to do in the future is and what we're working on right now is actually to build in the capability for students to deploy their own custom experiments down to the bottom of the ocean and do that in a very cost-effective manner. And it's very similar to another really extreme STEM program we offer here, which is our space program. We've been, since 2011, launching custom student experiments up to the ISS for all those years. And so when we were looking for a program to do in the ocean, we found this partner with Mbari, and they said, we have something kind of similar to the space station, but just at the bottom of the ocean. And so now we want to actually have that capability to cost effectively deploy custom student experiments to the bottom, and that's really where the students will get the most involvement.
Absolutely, Stephen. That's you've done something really special here with that program. That's super pioneering and inspiring, honestly. And thank you so much for sharing with us, being our first guest here on day 3 of StreamFest.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Stephen.
Thanks for having me.
And next up, we're going to talk a little bit about our BlueSTEAM Ahead program here at Blue Robotics. So, Stephen Huber is a pioneering teacher, and he's transforming the way that marine technology is being used in the classroom. And that's something we care very deeply about at Blue Robotics, so much so that we have created a dedicated initiative, which we call BlueSTEAM Ahead, which seeks to bring marine technology into the classroom and create pathway opportunities for students to find their way into marine technology at an early age, in high school or maybe even before. So we have this special little video that we've prepared for you, and we'd love to share right now.
We are kind of in a motivational deficit in our educational system. They're not motivated by just receiving a bunch of information. The ocean being the space next door where it's so unexplored, and bringing kids into that unknown is not just fun and exciting, but it's academically motivating. So the pioneering phase is, let's get these ROVs in the hands of students and let's see what happens.
Environmental science and environmental studies really appeals to me because it is the intersection between humans and society and the natural world, and how we impact nature and how nature impacts us.
I wanted to give the students an opportunity to tap into interesting things to learn and experience.
As a teacher, I would love to see students find something intrinsically inside themselves that motivates them to be curious and to learn and to grow.
I mean, the direction of our future, right? It's either artificial intelligence, technology, and so I want to make sure that we prepare our students for that world.
The Blue ROV has just been amazing in helping create a model of what happens out in the real world. I think a lot of teachers are afraid to try something like this because they don't know how to operate it, but that's how it came, and that's what we're doing, and the students are learning a lot through it.
It was a challenge at first. We, of course, like any new project, right, we had some missteps, but also that's what STEM is about, isn't it? Exploring and looking at the unknown and trying new things.
I'm learning alongside my students, and it's been a really cool thing.
That's what excited me first and foremost, where teachers and students can be learning together, and so that teachers can model how they learn and how they ask questions.
There are so many different skills that we can delve into, and the ROV is a complement to that.
I think the most haha moment for me, here they were building something, they were actually going to take it into the wild, take it out into the ocean and actually try it. So I think that dynamic even made it more exciting for our students.
The value of having students go into the field and using tools that are actually used in that industry cannot be overstated.
Many of our students, first time we've ever been on a boat, let alone, go on a trip to the Channel Islands. They had never seen dolphins out in the wild before. We saw humpback whales, the experiences of being in the water, the wind in your face, a lot of exciting moments.
When you're on a boat, you can only imagine what's underneath you. I feel like it really gives students an anchor because they get an opportunity to learn about really interesting things that are really on a frontier. It's far beyond reading something in a textbook. So I feel like it's very transformative for students to see that they can learn about things that are going to enhance their future.
You're helping students see behind a curtain, and for a lot of students, seeing below the surface of the ocean is a curtain, and now the education becomes real.
The famous educator, John Dewey, said that education wasn't just a preparation for life, it's life itself. And I think true education, true learning, right? Where kids are taking something that's experiencing in the classroom, and now they're using it in real life. Along with that, problem-solving skills, working together. It's an encompassing lesson, right? STEM and beyond.
Wow.
So cool. Yeah, I love seeing students chuck that ROV in. We saw yesterday the Special Forces gently lowering it in, and turns out you can just give it a solid chuck.
That's right. That's right. Showing the Special Forces how it's done.
So our next guest is coming to us all the way from Africa. Fraser is one of our favorite distributors. Chris, how you doing? Oh, sorry, jumped the gun. Chris, excited to have you here with us today.
It's great. Welcome
How
to
you guys
Stream
doing?
Fest,
Oh my
Chris.
goodness, where are you right now?
Deep in an undersea base,
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah, I'm in the dock behind me, so this is a much more pleasant background.
Nice. Well, do we have a stream to plunge into? I'm quite excited. So where are you coming at us from, Chris?
Right now I'm in Mauritius.
Nice. Okay, so what's going on here?
This is a little guitar shark in, I think, roughly 70, 80 meters of water off the south coast of South Africa.
So cool.
I've never seen coral like that, the conical cups.
Those aren't corals, it's actually sponges. There's an extremely rich diversity of sponge life on the bottom in these areas.
Wow. And so what vehicle are we flying right now? Is this a BlueROV2 or something else?
BlueROV2, it's one of the first, I think. This was many, many years ago.
Wow.
There's a cool little guy.
Yeah, what is that little guy?
I'm not sure.
He's
Oh, maybe a
little
shark.
Toby of sorts. A shark? You got a shark there?
very nice.
Wow.
The coral. I mean, Jess, what do you think about that? All those corals.
I mean, I love sponges, so
Or sponges,
So
right.
I was gonna say, the sponges are really cool. They're underestimated little guys. I mean, I worked on nervous systems of these things, and they have some of the first version of the nervous system. So there's a little trivia for you. But Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do? What are you doing over there at ROV Africa? And I know you really are a tinkerer, as I like to say. So I'm excited to hear about what you got going on.
All sorts and sort of whatever people need me to do generally. I've been with Blue Robotics and working with Blue Robotics now for many years. I think from the first Kickstarter back in 2015 it was. I've been working with you guys. We've made many different ROVs. I'm an engineer at heart, so I love designing new things and making cool things for under the ocean. I'm very excited to see DWE on your team.
Just the way that this dude's swimming is quite cool. Just kind of
I think that guy's lost a piece.
Yeah.
He's lost a piece of his tail. That guy is a bit off balance. Yeah, but I'm really stoked to see DWE on board. I've used many of their cameras in the past to great success. I wish I had them back in the day here. The colors would have been better. Oh, there's a cool guy. He's a cuttlefish.
Wow.
That's awesome. How deep are we right now?
Looks like 76.4 meters in the bottom right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, our team,
That sort of range.
some members of our team misidentified that creature earlier as an octopus.
Yes.
But it is indeed a cuttlefish.
And what's the difference?
Well, they're completely different animals, but cuttlefish are some of my favorite animals because I think they have the best camouflage in the ocean.
I love it. There's another one. You see the eyes hiding it.
Giving us prime example of that camouflage.
Yeah, just blends.
100%.
Absolutely cool.
Is
The
it-
colors are incredible.
Yeah, the ocean's a fantastic
Yeah.
place. Whoa.
Oop, a nudie brain. I recognize that.
Ooh. So my mom, I come from a family of sea creatures, basically. My mom has written the book and the other book on nudibranchs. My dad and brother have found a whole colony of coelacanths under the ocean too. So, yeah, I'm the black sheep who doesn't dive all the time, but builds robots instead.
Well, you get to go deeper.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would argue that, you get to go deeper for longer. At 200 some feet, if you're a scuba diver, you ain't hanging out there long, or you're breathing special gases. And with an ROV, you can just explore the environment for as long as your battery or surface power supply can go.
100%. You're one mistake from dead in a rebreather down there. There's a crayfish. Those guys are delicious.
What kind of modifications do you make for the ROV? Like, do you do anything like unique with it, or like do you go to certain depths, or how do you modify it?
Definitely. So this one that we're using there, I think that one had a custom slope on it for taking marine samples. I've made all sorts of things recently. A cool drop cam to go down to 1,000 meters. That's for the University of Cape Town, I think. But all sorts. Every project's a different challenge with a new set of things to build.
Do you have anything that can take like tissue samples? So, I mean, I'm gonna get a little marine biologist on you, but I know there are some folks who are interested in taking coral samples because they do genomics on different coral species for conservation. But it's really hard finding something that's going to be gentle enough to get a tissue sample in the ocean and bring it back to preserve it. I don't know. Do you have anything like that?
Not off the shelf, but we can probably make one.
Okay, that's good. I'll tuck that piece of knowledge away.
Well, that's
there's
very
a really
practical.
There's a really interesting thing that's been done in this area where sea sponges were collected and then DNA sequenced to hunt for coelacanth snot. So because the sea sponges are filter feeders, they take everything out of the environment. So if a coelacanth had been nearby, their DNA would be in the sponge effectively, and that's a good way to hunt for where they might be.
Yeah, some good eDNA kind of mapping can go on with that stuff too. That's super awesome.
Yeah, and I've been hearing that particularly with warming waters, that finding genetic examples that like might be in a condition like that might be more acidic or might be more warmer is very interesting to scientists that are studying like how the geographic dispersion of various corals, and I imagine sponges too, are adapting. So that's very interesting.
100%.
Awesome. This was so cool. I mean, I'm probably going to watch this about 50 more times after this anyways, and probably shoot you like 30 more questions. But I
don't know if this is the one, but this fish has feet.
Yes.
Oh, like a frogfish.
Yes.
You're just going to scare the kids out there, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. This was great. You do some really cool stuff, and I'm super excited to see all the things that you come out with. But thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. And if I can give a last shout out, please, I'd like to shout out your software team. They don't get enough love. They're doing magical work behind the scenes to make this all work. And then also G and her team in the after sales support. Things can't always go right, but when they go wrong, she makes it really, really smooth. And it's such a great experience working with you guys.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always great working with you too.
Absolutely, and couldn't agree more. So next up, we're going to do something kind of fun here. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of getting over to brand new Compton High School, and we've got a short little segment that we shot over there. We want to bring you along with us. We're going back in time a little bit, but we're still in StreamFest. We are in festival mode. We went over to the school. We hope you enjoy.
In high school.
The brand new campus here. We're super stoked to be working with the Compton Unified School District to bring marine technology into classrooms. And today is a really special day. This is a brand new campus. It's super nice. Tony, we were just talking about how this pool is just asking to be dived into.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And already has, speaking of diving, an ROV in it, driving around in the water over there. School board members from around the country come and check it out.
That's right. This is the Council of Urban School Board members that are here today touring this campus. And what's super cool about this is this school was built and designed from the bottom up to be like a modern high school. And so they wanted to highlight their technology program on this day, which is why they've got, I believe they're going to have 4 ROVs in the water here today once all of the student groups get here. So they're showing off the Blue Robotics ROV that they've put together. Last school year that we were out at Anacapa Island with these ROVs in the field actually doing transects of kelp forests. And so what's rad is that these are robotics groups that are taking their technology into the field to learn about the ocean. And that's what we are ultimately looking to do with marine technology, is to cross-pollinate interests. Use the technology to explore the world around you.
Totally.
Which is rad.
This is really cool. And I did not realize that everybody had it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We've got 4 ROVs with the Compton Unified School District, different
awesome.
levels.
Look at this bug.
Wow, it's coming for you.
What is a beetle?
What
is a beetle?
It likes your shirt. That's a good exit.
That was crazy. Oh my god.
Somehow we survived.
A little traumatizing, maybe.
It was a beautiful bug, but it was coming right at me, and it freaked me out. So we had to quickly
Exit
finish.
stage right.
Yeah, exit stage right, exactly.
So next up, we have Austin Greene. He's with the Department of Land and Natural Resources up in Seattle, and we've been working with him and BlueBoats to develop a curriculum on mapping seagrass. Austin, how's it going?
Hey, it's going really well.
Thank you for joining us today. We can jump into your stream. Our general goal with you has been to map the extent of seagrass so that you can see how it changes over time. Can you share why that's important?
Yeah. I mean, here in Washington, especially in the nearshore environment, seagrass is incredibly important. It's important for salmon as a nursery habitat early on in their life, as a place for shelter and a source of food. And it's also important to many of the bird species that we have out here. So for the Aquatic Reserves Program, we operate primarily or exclusively on state-owned aquatic lands, and seagrass, specifically eelgrass from the genera Zostra, that's a really important habitat. It's a biogenic habitat that we care a lot about.
Cool. And this is a BlueBoat. I'm glad we can have a BlueBoat segment here. We're not all about ROVs here at Blue Robotics. Yeah, they can really go up to 3 meters per second. But we weren't actually 100% sure. Seagrass is very narrow blades, and it's not necessarily that tall. We weren't sure how it would show up with an OmniScan side scan from cerulean sonar.
Yeah. One of the images that just popped up a minute ago, kind of orange looking, that image actually, within it, it's a little bit tough to see in this kind of format, but you can very clearly make out eelgrass, specifically eelgrass in these images. Right. Yep. Yeah, exactly. In a minute, in the bottom right, you're going to see some really bright areas right there. That kind of, I call it like cauliflower. Oh. And that cauliflower texture is the parenchyma, the air spaces in the eelgrass itself. And essentially, you have an airspace, right? So the speed of sound is going to change. That produces an acoustic response, and that's what allows the side scan to show us a really clear return, not only of the edge of the bed, but kind of the entirety of the bed itself. So we're going out, we're actually using the BlueBoat to try and understand where we have eelgrass and where kind of the extent of that eelgrass, and as Tony mentioned, how that extent changes, because eelgrass exists both as annual and perennial, just like many other grasses. So there's different life histories that are really important to understand.
I honestly, I'm just learning. I'm starting to learn more about like seagrasses, and it is because they are like real grass. It's like related to grass, right?
It is a flowering plant
It's
that
a
lives
flowering
in
plant.
yeah, that lives in a marine environment. And there's studies done, plenty of studies out there, but one thing that's really important to know is that eelgrass specifically, or seagrasses more broadly actually, they sequester enormous amounts of carbon. So you shouldn't walk around out in seagrass beds, but if you ever are working in them, you'll notice that the sediment, the soil is really fluffy, and if you pick it up, it smells, and that is literally decomposing organic matter that is being locked down and sequestered. I don't remember the exact stats in terms of how much compared to a rainforest, but for the relatively small amount of coastal habitat worldwide, that is seagrasses, they sequester, they punch well above their weight in terms of how much carbon they sequester out of the atmosphere.
Well, that's exciting to hear. I didn't know that. And as you see here in the bottom right, it really does stick out like a sore thumb right about now.
Yeah, both of those bright spots.
So can you talk a little bit about the people that are using the BlueBoat with you? You have some students and different groups come through?
Yeah. My background is very much kind of in like marine engineering space and how that crosses with ecological forecasting. But here in our program, we have the Puget Sound Corps, which you just saw a second ago on screen. So every year we have 5 interns that come into our program. They're typically new, and they're a branch of AmeriCorps, but these are basically undergrads, right? People who've just come out of college. And most of them have no experience with a platform like this. But by the end of their term, especially in this last term, we had all of them basically going out and in one way or another operating the BlueBoat. Some of them were to the point where they could plan a mission, take the BlueBoat to the independently, launch it, collect data, and generate a map. And then other times they were playing more of a support role, but they were always excited to kind of take the BlueBoat out into the field. It was always a fun day, kind of like what you're seeing there on the screen. I was with one of our new interns yesterday on a boat mapping trap locations for invasive European green crab. And he was just blown away kind of watching it work and frankly, how easy it was to use.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. So when you're doing this work, are you, because it sounds like you're looking for sites too, are you mapping out routes, or, because I know you can do that with the BlueBoat.
Yeah, we do both.
Or doing it, just driving.
Yeah, so we absolutely do both. We have areas that we really care about understanding what is there. We actually have taken all of our reserves and we essentially have broken up the shoreline into large chunks, and we are chipping away at that to kind of build a patchwork map of the subtidal habitat on our reserves, because these are marine reserves, right? Most of the habitat is going to be subtidal, and we can, in an afternoon, we can cover 1 to 2 square kilometers when we're just, we're doing other stuff on the beach and the BlueBoat is just out there mapping an area with side scan. We usually have the swath set to about 40 meters or so, set to 25 meters. So we see a 25-meter band to each side of the vessel. So we're covering about a 50-meter band, and we set our transects 40 meters apart. So we have just a tiny bit of overlap in between, and that allows us to cover a lot of ground for mapping. We also have other times, like yesterday, we were piloting kind of what the data would look like next to a floating kelp bed, and we essentially were just manually driving the BlueBoat with the side scan turned on and recording data, and just driving it really slowly, frankly, through a very busy boating channel next to some floating kelp that was there. And it did great. So we do both of those things, mapping of areas we care about, and frankly, a lot of like scouting, trying to understand where we have different types of habitat and how that habitat looks in the side scan imagery.
Well, I just want to know, have you tried using multiple BlueBoats yet?
Not yet. We only have the one, but Tony, we should talk.
Yeah, I'm really interested in like going for time. Like, how much can we map in an hour? And just just send them all out like a big fleet, a big what do you call that? A swarm approach?
An armada, perhaps.
An armada.
Yeah, an armada.
I like that. I mean, because what I think is so neat is that if you have a lot of ground to cover, you can really send. You could go out and what used to be, maybe you'd survey your whole area in 5 years. Each year you'd do a piece. Now maybe you could do that every year, or maybe multiple times a year. Then you feed that into your modeling, and all of a sudden you can really understand in whole new ways what's going on, which is pretty revolutionary.
Well, I was most excited just to learn, a typical side scan survey like this from a contractor might cost, more than a BlueBoat does.
Totally.
Yeah, we are starting to hear from counties and other places out here that are saying like, hey, we hear you have this tool, and tribes here in Washington as well, who've expressed a lot of interest in this tool as a way for them to do exactly what you just said, like save some money from contractors and do the work themselves. And it's really like, it's a proof in the pudding kind of moment where we go out in the field and we work with these people and they see us operating this and they realize like, this is not something I have a PhD, but you don't need it to run this, right? Like it is really straightforward, and the data you get back is, especially from the side scan, is really high resolution. That map you're seeing right now is at 10 centimeter resolution. And we can produce high resolution maps than that if needed. So yeah, perfectly fine for contract compliance, which we do a lot of, habitat mapping, stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, anytime.
Thanks, Austin.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that was awesome.
Awesome.
I love seagrasses. And we have such a treat, you guys. A special in-studio treat for you all. We have the one and only Elisa Miller here with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to StreamFest.
Thank you.
She's been doing a lot of the behind the scenes work, so she's been here the whole time. But
I like it better over there.
yeah.
Honestly.
Well, how's your festival going?
Yeah, how's it going?
I mean, it's outstanding. Everyone's such a pro. Y'all are making this look so easy. Our guests are phenomenal. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all of our guests. When are we doing this again?
Well, I'll tell you, probably, hopefully not too terribly long from now. But also, we probably want a little break. But that's the thing about festivals is you can't do Burning Man, for example, every month. You burn out.
That would be crazy.
So
Yeah.
you can do it every year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Elisa, what are your thoughts on, what was your favorite stream so far of the festival?
That's so hard to say.
Favorite, I know, favorites are hard, but maybe some favorite animals.
Favorite animals. Oh, I was going to go right for the kelp, honestly.
Oh.
Everyone knows I'm obsessed with kelp. So all of the Seattle Aquarium footage, the ocean rainforest footage. I really liked Chris's footage of all the nudibranchs. I'm learning so much over here too, so just all of them.
We're just all learning together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the day? Like, we have some stuff coming up. Like, what are you hoping to see before StreamFest ends?
Oh,
Man.
I don't know if I'm going to give anything away.
Don't want to create it.
It's like, spoiler alert.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear from the crew from BR North. I don't know, is that a secret?
No, not anymore. It isn't anymore.
And also we have another little, we don't need to go into the secrets right now. They can just naturally unfold as the show progresses.
Yeah. It's been great to see the positive response in the YouTube comments. Keep it up. Give us some questions. We'd love to answer them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're so glad to have you and your support. Because I know you're like an ocean girly, you know what I mean? Like, we just talked about the long list of ocean activities that you're hoping to get into. So it's really nice to have that same kind of energy on this project that we're doing.
Yeah, it's also exciting. I love it.
Agreed. And thoughts on the color coral?
The color coral?
The color coral.
I mean, we love it, right?
Yes,
like,
I think
that's the
that was
only
what we've
correct
established.
answer.
Exactly.
Moon jellies, the color coral, sponges, and seaweeds.
Seagrasses.
Sea grasses.
Grasses.
We love them all.
We've got range.
We do.
Range.
And snails. Small little colorful
Sea
snails.
slugs.
We also enjoy.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for
Elisa,
having
that was
me.
great.
I'm going to go back into the corner.
And we're going to go into the blue again.
We're going to go into the blue.
in.
We've got our next
festival
guest.
doesn't stop.
It
ladies
doesn't
and gentlemen.
stop. Thank you
We're
so
diving
much.
back in.
We're going to now talk to Vincent. He's with
Vincent, welcome aboard.
Yeah, how you doing?
Sawsharkman-Griffith University. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Vincent, thanks for joining us on StreamFest. We're winding it down, but we know we're finishing really strong. Let's take a look at the stream.
Hope so.
All right. Oh, man, look at that little boat go.
Those are some brisk looking conditions.
Yeah, for a coral reef, you'd think otherwise.
Wow.
So what were you doing here? What are we looking at?
So this was in Lizard Island, which is very north of the Great Barrier Reef, and we were running some surveys to look at coral health. This is part of the world where unfortunately there's a lot of bleaching over the last year, and there's been a lot of coral death. And the BlueBoat is a great way to survey these areas, because historically what we've been doing has been using drones, and as you can see from the drone, the conditions aren't great. So this has moved on to a little sharky here. This is what's called a draft board, a cat shark.
Nice.
Spotted cat shark from Tasmania. And at that stage, we were doing some capture and release projects to see the effects of capture on shark health and well-being over time with fisheries applications. And this was with the BlueROV, obviously. And as you can see, you have a couple seals that were coming in to
dive bomb it.
Dive bomb the whole project.
Now, are you assessing coral health with the BlueBoat or the ROV or both?
Primarily the BlueBoat. We do want to. We have a whole bunch of footage from hundreds of kilometers of transects that we ran with the BlueBoat. And so, sorry, this is my little drill.
Yeah, StreamFest, coming back.
So we've got hundreds of kilometers of transects. So this particular case is Norfolk Island. So this is a very remote island that's technically part of Australia, but it's actually just north of New Zealand. And it's a subtropical coral reef, so it's quite unique in terms of the habitats. And you wouldn't know it from looking at the island, because these corals are a little bit deep, but it's just amazing how diverse the coral is in this area. And we would have never known, because this is an area that's also notorious for some of the largest tiger shark populations in the world. With the average size of tiger sharks being about 4 meters in length. So it's about 14 feet for you Americans.
When you're assessing reef health with the BlueBoat, are you doing that with sonar or a towfish camera? What kind of approach do you take?
So we keep it simple. I don't like keeping things complicated, because that makes it a little inaccessible, which is one of the reasons the BlueBoat stuff is so good. And we use just GoPros essentially, because they're more than good enough for our purposes. And there's a lot of research to show that they're actually quite good for a structure from motion. So these are surveys that are done in Lake Macquarie, which is close to Newcastle. So it's not the English Newcastle, the Australian one. And I had a student who was doing fish surveys, and this bottlenose dolphin kept photobombing his efforts to survey things, and showed a lot of interest to the BlueBoat. And these are some more of the surveys we did to look at mark recapture for those animals.
That is a beautiful shark.
Yeah, how many?
Yeah, they're really pretty. They're this big. They're not very big.
Really?
How many of those were you working with doing the capture and release stuff? Like how many?
We did over 90 in total. Wow. So this footage here was good fun. This is from Norfolk Island as well, which is notorious for Galapagos whalers, which is what these sharks are. And they come in to feed off of the offcuts from recreational fishers that chuck in the water, and you'll have like 20 or 30 of these sharks just swimming around. And they were at first a little bit scared of the BlueBoat, but quickly got used to it, and so we got some pretty good footage of these guys just swimming around.
That's amazing, and I just love the clear water. It's just so pretty. And so it seems so. Your work is focused. Are you primarily focused in the Great Barrier Reef region, or are you kind of and forgive me, my geography of that part of the world is a little rusty. But is this primarily in the Great Barrier Reef? Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, so the shark recapture stuff was in Tasmania, which is in the very southwest southeast of Australia. So that's the cold part of Australia, essentially, where a lot of commercial fishing happens. But a lot of the coral stuff that's all on the Great Barrier Reef at this stage.
Man, it's so cool to see that little blue boat chugging through those waves, and you just have you just have a camera mounted under there.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, I custom designed a 3D print and a mount for the camera so we could have a bit more flexibility, so where we could put them, and also to keep the two pontoons a little bit more stable in the water, because obviously these aren't very appropriate conditions for running these little boats. But I've taken the boat in similar conditions to the Torres Strait and run it kilometers away from the vessel, and I've never had any issues except those caused by my own problems when it was beached, because it was running a mission and the tide dropped lower than we thought it would.
Did you see any changes in the other wildlife, especially with the coral stuff? I know coral bleaching is like a big thing right now, and it's been changing a lot of habitats and ecosystems. So have you seen any other changes with that?
Yeah, sad to report that the bleaching over the last year has been absolutely devastating. Through some of the drone work that I did at Lizard Island, where we were running the blue boats, there was over 90% coral death.
Wow.
So the reefs are not in a good state, and it's one of the reasons that using these remote tools is really important, because we can't keep up with the pace of change, and we have to change these sorts of things to be able to know what those changes are doing, and hopefully we see some coral recovery over the next year. I'm actually going back to Lizard Island in a couple months' time, and I'll go again next year, and hopefully with the blue boat we see some of that change in a positive direction as opposed to a negative one.
Absolutely, and it's one of the reasons why this accessible technology, can really make an impact. We're hoping. It's like if more people are able to see this stuff and see those sharks and see those corals and love them, they will care that they are not bleached out and disappear from the earth.
Well, also I find showing the devastation is really important as well, and explaining that to people, because that's something that people often don't believe in, or they don't believe until they see that sort of stuff. And so showing both sides of the picture is very important, and these Blue Robotics tools help us do that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Vincent. This has been great. I love the work that you're doing, and I'm excited to see the results and how it goes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on StreamFest.
All right. Well, next up we have another treat. Another Blue treat. The cat was let out of the bag just a little bit. But for you guys who don't know, our team like a global team. It's not all just here in Torrance, California, right?
That's right. The sun never sets on Blue Robotics.
That's right. We have some folks down in Brazil, and we got some folks up in our friendly cousin up north. There they are.
Oh,
that's our Blue Robotics North
our
team.
fearsome threesome.
Welcome. Where are they, Tony?
They're in Victoria, Canada. The island of Victoria, Canada, right?
It's Vancouver Island, I believe, but the city.
The city's Victoria, the island's Vancouver.
Yes.
We're bad Americans.
Clearly, our geography in this country is not great.
And we've got 3 guests with us. We've got Larissa, we've got Eldin, and we've got Kenneth.
Hey!
What up? I don't see any drumsticks. Are you going to serenade us with a rhythm?
They're in the vicinity.
Well, Eldin, could you start us off and tell us a little bit about what you do up at BR North and maybe some of the exciting things you're working on?
Sure, yeah. We've got about 10 hardware engineers here up in Victoria. So we do all of the R&D, basically all the hardware engineering for every product that Blue Robotics sells on their store, which is about over 350 products now. So we're about half electrical, half mechanical, and we're all in this office together designing stuff. So circuit boards and mechanical assemblies and actuators and motors and all of this stuff.
What do you got there?
Oh, this is I'll talk about it. It's our new thruster that we're working on. So we're up in Victoria. As everyone probably knows, all of the manufacturing happens in Torrance, where you guys are. But yeah, all the design happens here. So we're back and forth a lot, but mainly we're mostly working on new product developments and things. So yeah, some of the stuff we're working on a ton of stuff. Usually we've got like, I don't know, 20 or 30 or so things on the go at once. And so right now we're putting a lot of effort into launching our new connector. So we were doing a ton of production, kind of pre-production validation of our wetling connector. So we're manufacturing and building like dozens and dozens, hundreds of connector whips, and we're putting them in pressure tanks, and we're doing a lot of testing and characterizing the performance of these connectors. Yeah, so that's kind of one big project. Another big thing is we're working on our next architecture of our thruster motors. So we're bringing a few really important processes in-house.
Shut up to the camera. Can we get a better view of that thing?
So this kind of looks like this.
Oh,
this is
wow, there we
leader.
go. That's a stream.
Yeah. So
that's some fresh stream right there.
You saw it here first, folks.
Yeah.
So we're doing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I wanted to shout out Larissa with the camera work over there. So because Larissa and I started at the same time only a couple months ago. So, you know, we've really been hanging in here trying to figure this whole thing out. And she has such a cool background with all her cool Australian girl stuff that she was doing in the ocean. She's such a badass. Kenneth, I have not had the pleasure of meeting you quite yet, but I've heard so much about you almost on a daily basis. So I feel like I know you already.
All right, well, I hope it's all good.
All great. It's all great. But thank you, BR North team. That was amazing. I am always curious to hear what you guys are doing up there, and hopefully we all get to come and see you.
Hopefully we piqued some interest in this new thruster that's going to be amazing.
I'm interested.
Yeah, well, there's lots more we're working on too.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. Very cool. Well, thank you all for joining us on StreamFest, and we are going to move right along, guys. It's a festival of streams. And next up we have, from the Tritonia, we have Kat and I believe, Tony, we will be delving back into the world of photogrammetry, which is super rad. Greetings, Kat and Pam. Welcome to StreamFest.
Hi.
Are you guys stoked to be here? It looks like.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so let's dive into this stream and see what we got going on.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay. What is this?
So this is our flapper skate. So it's one of the largest species in the world, and it's almost in danger. And it is categorized as a critical endangered species, and you can see it's almost like 3 meters long. They can grow up to. Yeah. So they lay these amazing eggs, huge, like kind of paper-sized eggs in the very specific areas, which was like very unknown for scientists for a long period. We didn't understand exactly where they were laying their eggs and why and how. So yeah, this is like a project that we've been working for already a few years. And through this, you can see the ROV survey that we've done in one of the sites, which has been a marine protected area now, designated through the discovery of the skate eggs there with using ROVs and divers. Yeah, so this is kind of like a footage, and eventually you'll see like the cluster of these eggs that we were all like super excited when we saw them. We're like, oh my God, look at it. So yeah, and this has led to further kind of surveys using ROVs to produce 3D models for these sites. to actually count the eggs.
So do we see
in
the
this-
eggs on here? Are those them?
Yes.
Yeah, and those little packets.
You see them?
Whoa. I would not have. I didn't even see those.
Those are
Yeah.
so cool.
Those are so cool.
Those actually, so I'm from Massachusetts, and we used to see those on the beach all the time.
Are there different species of shark egg?
Yeah, those little packets would come.
We'd
like
call
little
them
sacks would come up
we'd
on
call that a mermaid's purse.
Yeah.
When I was a
Yeah,
child,
yeah.
That's what we would call those when we'd find them, a mermaid's purse.
We call them here too.
Oh, really?
It's like some people collect them too in the beach. They go and collect them and they do different things with it. Yeah, you should go and get your ROV down there and see where you can find them.
I love this. So did you guys did you discover these egg laying sites yourselves? Is this the research you were doing? Were you seeking to find them?
Well, yeah, so the ones here, they were found, I think, by fishermen actually. And yeah, we were asked to go and, well, map where they were. We went down and collected some and took some genetic samples and things. And
Wow,
yeah, I
what
think
a
this
model.
is,
We're flying.
yeah, so this is just one of the photogrammetry models that we did at this site off the Isle of Skye. And it's really just trying to kind of describe the habitat where they are, and as Pam said, looking at the size of the boulders and things, but also like the aspect and the slope. So these boulder slopes, they seem to be on these moraines around the site.
And so what we're looking at here with this model, that is kind of Tritonia's bread and butter. You guys do photogrammatic surveys mostly around Scotland and England, or all over the world?
Yeah, well, we've been doing it in Scotland, England, but we also have done abroad. Like Kat has been also doing it in Chagos. We've been involved in Bermuda. So sometimes we get to these beautiful tropical places too.
That's awesome. So have you been able to do this over time? Like, so do you know if those animals come back to the same place every year, or you haven't gotten that far yet? Like, is this like an actual breeding ground somewhere where they come annually?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're trying to look at. So yeah, that clip there was actually some adult skate had been tagged, and then we got asked to go back and lay this array of acoustic receivers. So what we were doing there was we were relocating them, having deployed them last October. So Pam was part of that team that put these receivers down. And so they're wanting to look at where the adults go. What was really cool about this and what you're seeing there is because they're in 30 meters of water, you can't spend that long down there. Obviously, as a diver, you've got about 10-minute bottom time. So what we were doing is we were using the ROV to relocate them and attach the surface marker buoy there so that the diver could just then drop back down.
Go right to
but
it.
yeah.
Yeah. We do have we do have a question on the YouTube chat. One of our former guests, our earlier guests, Chris Fraser, is wondering, besides the built-in ROV camera, what cameras you guys are using?
Good one.
So, so at the moment we have kind of done like a stereo system using GoPros. We have used also the DWE, the deep water exploration camera.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the models we usually get from the GoPros. But I think the first footage that, oh, in fact, no, what's that with? Can't tell.
There's the navigation camera.
Yeah, so some of those ones of the adult skate, that was showing the DW. Oh, that's the nav cam there.
Yeah.
But I think the following clip is the DWE, and they're really nice sort of white balance, aren't they?
Yeah. Facing downward.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
Our friends at DWE,
Yeah,
presenters here at Stream
that is
Fest.
the DWE camera.
Yeah, it's nice quality.
Yeah, just pipe them in real fast. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, this is very cool. And so, what's next for you guys? Do you have any future missions planned?
Yeah, well, actually, we've been looking at a few other sites down the west coast of Scotland. So there's a place called Loch Melfort and Loch Craignish where they've also found skate eggs. So we've been comparing the sites, and we're hoping to collaborate with Nature Scot, who are the government-funded conservation body in Scotland, to write, well, yeah, more papers. We have published a paper with them actually already describing these habitats. But yeah, we're hoping to look at the difference between them and see if, ultimately also look at we've done multi-beam surveys as well. So these photogrammetry plots, they're kind of ground truthing what the sonar shows. And so we're hoping to be able to then do multi-beam. And if we've described what the sonar would look like in terms of the intensity of the return and then the slope and aspect and things that we described before, we're hoping that you can then kind of extrapolate and then find more sites just using sonar, which obviously covers a lot more ground.
That's super cool. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was such a good way to end the program too. You really brought everything full circle. There's a little bit of everything in that, and I'm so excited to see where all of this goes as someone who's just genuinely interested in animals, underwater animals. So thank you again. You both were great. We really appreciate having you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us. What a great wrap up on the main stage after 3 solid Streamfest.
Yes.
I feel refreshed.
Yeah.
Certainly.
But I could feel more refreshed. I'm just letting you know. I'm planting the seed.
Yeah. I mean, so I just want to say thank you to everyone, guys. I mean, this was a project that started with a brain idea between our folks at DWE and Elisa, just to bring some really cool streams to you guys. You know, what are people doing with marine tech? That's what this whole thing is about. And so I want to say, as somebody who is running the majority of this project, thank you to everybody. This is just a slideshow of our team. Meg did all the beautiful creations behind you. Christelle was really helpful with our participants. Lindsay was the best camera woman. Mia was on props. Oh my God. Brandon is like 12, but he is in DWE. I'm not sure this is an AI, but Jake is amazing. That's Steven. Can't really see him in there. Oh, Daniel, what a serious man. Nick. Nick was also on their creative team putting together our webpage. That, of course, is me. Thank you to myself. And then my co-host, love you, Tony. Love you, Tyler. I had so much fun getting to know you guys, working with you. And Etienne, oh my goodness, you guys. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without Etienne. Like, he is the man behind, in front, and beside the camera. He's feeling ill today. The whole week. He kept coming in and I was like, I really hope you're here tomorrow because we don't know how to do any of this. So thank you so much, Etienne. We really, really appreciate you. And just to everybody at BR, this is just such an amazing group of people, and I'm grateful to be here, and I love you guys, and this was so much fun, and I can't wait till next year, and I can't wait to get some of this.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise here. Tyler mentioned he was feeling a bit parched. This is a one-of-a-kind, probably the only one in the world. It is a T500 powered blender. And yeah, it should be a great way to make a little refreshment here.
And we are going to fire this bad boy up. Make sure you put your hand on the top.
Wow, it actually works.
Is that all she's got?
Oh yeah.
Looks like it'll be a little rocky.
I like it.
Like it on the rocks.
Let's all right. Let's dive in, eh?
Yeah, fire
Sure
up.
thing.
God, yes, this is my favorite part.
Ooh, it's steaming.
And
that's a crazy pour. That is a
Could be a little tricky.
That's a crazy pour.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Not bad, not bad. We all have napkins. We all have napkins. We all have napkins.
Pouring a little close to the power supply, maybe.
It's fine.
Electricity and water, you know.
It's all good.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Well,
cheers.
To everyone, to my co-hosts, to everyone out there who joined in, thank you so much for watching. We've had a great time here. Happy Streamfest.
Happy Streamfest.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Woo! Yay!
That was great. Woo! Yeah.